So don't take that.
We won't take up.
Yes, let's be the
Pods.
in Springfield.
How do we start these ones? Eat My Shorts 12.
I feel like you ask me this every time. So you always forget the...
It's interesting that they start with me asking how did they start.
It'll usually just be you saying, hey, my name's Nick, I'm Nick, this is Nick from the podcast, and you're listening to Pods in the Key of Springfield. Eat My Shorts.
Do I say my name that often?
You say it more usually. I have to cut back.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Today we're going back to one of our classic... Oh, wait, what is this called? Control Pods in the Key of Springfield.
Control Pods.
In the Key of Springfield. Our video game subset of the Eat My Shorts subset of the Pods in the Key of Springfield Megalopolis.
And for maybe the first time ever we're operating under actual time restrictions, we have another thing we need to do in 55 minutes, so we really need to just shoot this out and move on with our lives.
Man, people breathed a sigh of relief when they said that, when they heard you say that we've got to do this quickly. And then, boy, did people tense up again when you said we've got to shoot this out.
They understand at this point. So this episode is about the game Virtual Bart. Virtual Bart, oh boy.
What the hell happened to my Virtual Bart?
So this game was released on the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. And of course,
the SNES and the Ginses.
Yes, SNES and Genesis. Now we don't own.
Have you met my friend? Have you met my friend Jenna SNES?
I have actually.
Yeah,
lovely woman.
Yeah.
Now this game we don't have a copy, although I have played this game in the days of my youth, and you had a twinge of remembrance while watching the video.
There was one level, so we watched a playthrough. There was one level that we looked at which felt very, very, very familiar to me.
You turned to me, single tear rolling down your cheek, and you said, I remember everything now.
I remember Jenna SNES. But I did have a SNES for a while, but the rest of the game didn't seem familiar to me at all, which makes me wonder if maybe the water slide level, could that have been used again in some other game? I'm not sure.
Possibly as a form of warfare, considering how unenjoyable it is.
It was terrible.
Now this game, the only review I could find a record of was by EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly. They gave it a 4.8 out of 10 for the Super Nintendo version.
Now, James, I'm not one of your fancy big city video game journalists.
No, you're a fancy big city lawyer.
Yeah. Is 4 out of 10, 4.8 out of 10, is that considered, how would one say, good?
I would say that it's just about the highest score there is, Nick.
Interesting.
Now, EGM said that the control is awful, the stages unappealing, the whole thing feels rushed.
Huh.
And they weren't referring to the famous Canadian prog rock band Rush.
Oh.
For once, they were referring to the state of development in which things are rushed through.
I see.
Much like this podcast, because we are limited in time.
Do you think that maybe... Because, there's a very famous story about a video game recently where there was a lot of pressure put on people to get things done on time. People working, whatever it was, 100-hour weeks or 100-hour days or whatever the fuck it was. Of course, the Red Dead Redemption Rockstar Studios. Do you think that in total, 100 hours was spent on Virtual Bart?
I'm sure even though this game looks like a nightmare, I'm sure that they worked really fucking hard on it. It's making games is a nightmare at the best of times.
Well, I choose to not take pity on them because this is a crap game.
It opens at Bart at a science fair, and we see that his experiment is that he has Homer's head alive in a jar.
That's curious.
Which is weird because Homer pops up at the end of this game. The end of the game is Homer getting trapped in the very same virtual reality machine that Bart has spent the entire game trapped within.
What?
Implying, of course, that the rest of the series is Homer's virtual reality dream.
I see, a VR dream.
Yeah, which would explain a lot. But Bart gets hooked up to this nightmare machine at the start of the game and has to play through 6 disparate levels of...
Yes.
Platforming nonsense and various forms of mayhem.
Yes. I mean, mayhem implies that there might be some excitement inherent in the environment. I would say several forms of varying tedium. Nothing in this game stood out to me as looking particularly enjoyable.
Have you noticed most of these games are focused solely on Bart? We don't get any of the rest of the family, and most of them, or they might pop up on the fringes. And
this one's only focused on a virtual Bart, not even the real one.
Yeah, little Virtual Bart. We got Bart. We got that one game where Krusty's running around like fucking rats or whatever that game was about. And mostly, we got the Simpsons arcade game where the full family gets involved.
That's
mostly
true.
It's just little Bart, because I guess the idea is that little boys were the target market of video games.
So
we got to put the little boy front and center.
Yeah,
little buddy boy.
I suppose that is indeed a thing.
But here's the thing, Nick.
What?
Anyone can play and enjoy video games. They're for everyone.
Are you sure
dog?
about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Why?
No, of course.
What are your
that's
theories on this?
I don't think anyone wants
What's
to hear
that
my
shirt
theories.
you're wearing right now? It says games are only for men. Stay out.
The condition of stay out's a bit harsh.
Your shirt is actually of the rabbit with the holy hand grenade.
It's the Beast of Kayor Banog from
Yeah.
Monty Python. Oh, God.
And
Not
my shirt is-
only am I recording a podcast, I'm talking about my Monty Python shirt, and I did the voice.
Well, my shirt is an outline of the head of David Lynch, and it says "Fix your hearts or die," which is it's a message of trans acceptance in the show Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. This has been Sneaky Peaks.
We are like the dreamer who dreams and then lives inside the dream.
Sneaky Peaks.
So let's get back to this
He
fucking...
did it again. I didn't even realise it that time.
So the first game we see, Bart becomes a dinosaur, and he storms around through olden times, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Dino Sour, one of the 5 dinos. There's, of course, Dino Sweet, Dino Sour, Dino Umami, Dino Salty, and Dino...
Savory?
No, it's umami. Fuck, how have I forgotten the 4 tastes? Sweet, sour, salty, umami.
And...
What is the last one?
I don't know.
Bitter. Dino
Is this
bitter.
going to be about rocks again?
Dino
we
bitter.
got sedimentary.
Sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic.
Yeah,
I
there we
remember
go.
them all now.
I remember everything.
I remember them all because I listened back to that episode of this podcast. Which episode? The 2 episodes in which I've tried to list that type of rock.
So we get a segment that reminds me of the Home Alone video game on the Super Nintendo. Have you ever played the Home Alone game?
No.
I have. Not very good.
Not very good. Interesting.
No. Yeah,
Interesting.
wouldn't expect that from Tim the Toolman Taylor. Yeah.
Wait, Home Improvement.
Yeah.
You said Home Alone.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I
And
mean...
then you said Tim the Toolman Taylor, and I was like, Macaulay Culkin and Tim the Toolman Taylor are 2 very different but equally tedious people.
Wouldn't that be a very different movie?
What a...
It was Tim the Toolman Taylor trying to avoid Joe Pesci in his own home.
And the thing I love about that, though, is that all of the booby traps that Macaulay Culkin sets up
It would make so much
to
more
kill the
sense if
bandits.
Tim the Toolman Taylor was the one who set them up.
But I like to imagine that he wouldn't even know that he was doing it to foil the robbers. He was just so bad at home hardware that things like, oh, this door handle heats up, and so they get a 3rd-degree burn when they go to open the door because I'm Tim the Toolman Taylor and I fucked it because I don't have Al Borland here to teach me how to use the oh god, I can't remember the name of the tools. Fuck. I was working up to such a crescendo and I can't remember the name of the tools.
I like this idea so much, though.
I know. Isn't this nice?
Should we start a Kickstarter?
I think we should.
I don't know how involved I want to be with Tim Allen these days, but
How much do you like cocaine? In the 80s,
Yeah.
when he was jailed for dealing.
yeah, and when he ratted out all the other people that were also
Yes.
part of his thing, yeah. Tim the Toolman Taylor, if you want to come on the show and refute this.
Fucking hell.
Invitation is not open to Tim Allen, although if Woody the Cowboy would like to come... No, he was the other one, Buzz Lightyear. If Buzz Lightyear would like to
Yes.
come on to infinity and beyond.
Binford. Binford was the name of the tools in Home Improvement.
Okay.
I started Googling that and then remembered before the result came up.
So this garbage dinosaur game seems to go on forever. It lasts until Bart's in the Ice Age, jumping around on glaciers
Took
with
so long. Oh,
cave people throwing shit at him.
also, this video game shows dinosaur and humans coexisting. Is this video game creationist propaganda?
Ooh, well, I think you'll find it scientifically accurate, Nick.
Hmm.
You know, since the world began 6,000 years ago, we've had...
Is this podcast creationist propaganda?
Well, I've been trying to keep it pretty under the radar, but, you
see.
know... Have you heard the good word, Nick?
I've been trying to keep it pretty wherever I go, radar regardless.
So there's some dinosaur bullshit, and eventually it ends. It's good. Then we get Pig Bart. He's a pigman, Jerry.
He's a little pig man.
Yeah, we get this section where Bart in the virtual reality machine is turned into a pig, and he has to like trot around this pig factory, a cannery. He's in a cannery. That's right.
Which
That's
is
the
interesting
weird thing.
because I'm not sure if I guess Spam is the closest we have to pigs in cans.
But we see like bagged hams.
Yeah,
In the cannery.
I wouldn't say that was in a cannery. I'd say that was in a pig processing plant, the PPP.
Okay, we got the PPP, but I feel like we see the PPP products in the sea. Or the SC, I suppose, the spam cannery.
The Spam cannery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that I think...
The spam cannery where they can spam.
I think-
that's where we see the PPP.
Turns out putting us under a time crunch turns us into Dr. Seuss. Fucking hell.
I do not like this spam in a can. I do not like it, but I am. This would be a treat. Uncle Mo, here I am while you eat. The spam in a can.
Oh, the Spam in a can.
The PPP.
I think Pig in a Tin was actually the first name for Spam. Didn't catch on. They went with
Pig
Spam.
in a tin, wasn't that your 90s ska band?
Pick it up, pick it up. Pig it up, pick it up. That's a very good Scar joke for anyone listening along at home. Dan from Adelaide, that one's for you.
This looks like more platformer bullshit.
Yes.
And I feel like platforming is a bad idea when your character has 4 legs. As I've always said in
that's
2D
interesting.
platformers, 4 legs bad, 2 legs good.
Oh, I see. That's a nice little George Orwell Animal Farm reference there.
Yes, thank you, Orwell, if you are out there and would like to come on the podcast and maybe talk about 1984, which is the current year, I believe. Maybe a little too political.
Oh, I see what you've done there. Anyway, I wish I could turn off my TV. It just keeps playing all these propagandist rants. And other Big Brother references from 1984 as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember any other references, to be honest.
Good book, though. It ends with what looks like the most insane boss fight of little Piggy Bart in this office with these 3 businessmen
Yeah, that was weird.
who are throwing shit at him. Like, one is throwing books, I think, or the books are just jumping off the shelf. One guy's throwing pens at him, and he needs to lure each of the 3 men into the path of the projectiles that either the other 2 are throwing or the environment is throwing at him.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It looks terrible.
It took us a long time to figure out what was happening in that game. One of the head honchos, one of the executive, I described him as being a proto Ron Swanson.
Yeah, he did look like Ron Swanson. He got that little mustache.
which is weird.
He keeps doing forward flips.
Whole thing was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Do you mean Ron Swanson does the forward flips, or the little proto boy did the forward flips?
I've always felt like the forward flip is harder than the back flip.
That's an interesting question.
It wasn't really a question, it was a statement.
I had some friends at university when I was studying my non-law degree.
End of anecdote.
My journalism degree.
Yep.
They were identical twins who were divers. They were like Australian competition level divers.
Oh, yeah?
And they could both do back and front flips from a standing start on the ground. That is impressive when you can get 2 guys who look the same to stand next to each other and then both jump up and do a flip.
I can barely jump as it is. I feel like sitting down is an effort, like sitting down from a standing position to the ground.
I see.
Yeah.
Quick question about the cannery, about the pig cannery.
Yep.
Do you notice that this was a Krusty branded pig processing plant? A Krusty branded Triple P? Interesting thing about that, Krusty, Jewish faith, tends not to be a fan of ham. They tend to avoid it. I can only imagine that this derogatory depiction of a Jewish person is this creationist propaganda?
Isn't this just Krusty selling out? Isn't that part of his whole thing? Is that he just pretends not to be Jewish? He sells pork products all the time?
I guess so.
Is this not established canon within the
I
series?
just wanted to make a creationist propaganda callback.
Yeah, well, good. It was good, and I enjoyed it. And the KB PPP with its SC, lot of letters being thrown about here.
Krusty brand pig processing plant spam cannery.
Yeah, we've thrown a lot of letters around tonight, but the important thing is to love one another. So next we get the water slide level, which I remember playing.
Is that was that Jerry Springer's final thing when he hosted combative Scrabble tournaments? We've thrown a lot of letters around tonight, but there's a few racks that have been thrown at a few eyebrows. But guys, it's really important to remember.
And take care of yourself and each other.
Get that triple word score,
Get that triple word score,
baby.
Yeah, so we get this water slide level, which is the one that I very distinctly remember playing, and you seem to have some glimmer of recognition.
Glimmer
towards
of
as well.
recognition, yeah.
Yeah, because
That was the name of my prog album.
I rented this game on the Super Nintendo, and my memory is, I don't know if you actually got to choose which levels you played. We see Bart spinning in this weird virtual reality machine he's in, and I feel like the machine stops on a game, and you just have to play that one.
Yeah, right.
And we see him do the water slide bullshit, and I remember it was awful. It was terrible.
Yeah, because the water slide bullshit is... I've talked about this before with the Ren and Stimpy game.
Yep.
And the downhill cycling level. But the water slide in this, in Virtual Bart, is one of those classic, early, mid-90s video game things where there are obstacles that, before they register on the screen, you have to be steering to avoid them.
100%. It's a game of memorization.
It is the bullshit.
I feel like the only game I can think of that got this kind of design right was the original Battletoads.
Yeah.
With the those levels everyone hates, where you're on the hover speeder bike that are actually kind of fun. You just need like fucking insane reflexes to get them done.
Things. Yeah.
This is kind of like that, but if it was like bullshit and terrible and awful and bad.
All of those things. All of those things at once.
So we see him steering through this thing. You need to memorize the pathway because there are parts where it forks either left or right. And my memory is if you go the wrong way, it really fucks you up. There's a time limit. You have to keep collecting clocks because that used to be every game had a time limit because they could only design like 30 minutes of game and they needed to extend it somehow.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's why games were so difficult back in the day, bros. Calm down a bit with your shitty rhetoric. Although people don't really do that so much anymore because games are generally pretty good these days.
Sure.
Yeah. So, awful. Hate it. Hate this game.
Yeah, I hate this game. I was
The other thing I was thinking,
I
though...
was so unenthralled by the game that I started looking for various audio cables and adapters to try and fix the not quite fixed situation for the thing that we're about to do.
Yeah, we're cameoing on a Dungeons & Dragons podcast after this. I assume that will already be up by the time this is up. We will have shared the details somewhere.
I can't believe that this is a thing I'm about to do.
I'm really looking forward to it. It'd be great.
Yeah, I know, but doesn't that just fit perfectly within your character?
To enjoy things? No. But the thing I was thinking while watching this, it hit me suddenly, after like however many years...
It hit me like a Scrabble tile at a competitive Scrabble tournament hosted by Jerry Springer.
Like after like 22 years, I'm going to see how this level ends, baby.
Oh, baby.
So finally I get to see Bart exits the tube and splashes water all over Sherry and Terry.
Sherry and Terry.
I mean, that's
important.
That's real comedy to me. To splash two little girls with water coming out of a pipe.
Yep.
I mean, what's funnier than that, Nick? Tell me, what's funnier than that?
And you know the other thing, they are identical twins. They didn't even do a synchronized front flip or back flip.
No. They never even went to journalism school.
Not like my mates, Kim and Pat.
Wouldn't it be great if their names were also Sherry and Terry?
That would have been amazing.
And then next
Sherry and Terry, two well-renowned gender-neutral names.
Then we get
Actually, I suppose Terry is. Sorry.
I didn't see Sherry could be a man. Couldn't it?
I don't know. Sherry could be a fortified spirit from fucking Portugal
Is
or wherever.
Sherry a gender neutral name?
I've never met a male Sherry.
How many Sherrys have you met?
One.
Okay, well I've met two and they were both women, so maybe this falls apart.
Yeah, Terry though.
Although really, just name anyone, any name you want to give them. Who cares? It's all fine.
Yeah, actually that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I should say not... No, fuck it. Yeah,
Maybe
everything's
we don't need to have
Maybe who
genders
cares?
attached to names. Maybe
I agree.
because gender is a spectrum, none of this matters.
fine. I agree.
Just who gives a shit? Just people have their names and they're whoever they want to be. It's fine.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, well good. We've established that. Now we can talk about the Mad Max biking level that we get to see.
Yeah, I didn't... all I wanted to say is that the whipping mechanic and the kicking mechanic is lifted straight out of Road Rage.
Yeah, crack that whip. Licorice whip.
Yes.
Now this level where we see Bart dressed up as Mad Max riding around on a motorcycle in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. I was watching this like, is this section of the game good? This looks like it might not be complete shit. But then we are watching somebody who obviously knows the game fucking inside out, playing it. Did you ever see the movie Inside Out?
I feel like we talked about this last week.
It was good. Good movie.
No, I haven't seen Inside Out. I feel
What
like
about Finding Dory?
Finding Dory. No, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that.
Okay, well, you should find Dory in your own life.
Is there a movie based on the Road Rash video games?
I don't believe so. Be kind of dull, wouldn't it? Just a bunch of people riding around bikes. Yeah, I'm gonna hit that guy with a chain.
They made a movie.
Oh, my liver.
They made a movie out of battleships. I feel like there's
Yeah,
no...
but it was very bad.
Yeah, I'm sure that Road Rash wouldn't be much better.
Had Liam Neeson in it. I never saw it, but you know.
What, Road Rash?
No, fucking battleships.
Battleships, right.
I played Road Rash. I played Road Rash 64.
Oh, they did. I didn't know they did a 64 version.
They did. I believe we've talked about it on this podcast.
I played Road Rash 2 on the Sega Mega Drive 2.
Yeah, so suddenly the game looks pretty good. It's Bart riding around on a motorbike, killing Kearney and Jimbo, who are also riding around on motorbikes.
Yeah.
And then it's fairly short, and he reaches the end, and we get a couch gag where Bart runs into his destroyed house, sits down on the couch, the family has to brush away. They're skeletons now.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're all dead.
they're bony bros.
It's a little post-apocalyptic, little bloody motorbike land.
Yeah, Homer, he's a bony boy now.
Boner.
Yeah, he's one of those bony bros.
One of
Keep
those-
saying that Boney would have won.
Oh, God.
He's referring to Boney M in some sort of like triple M poll, I guess. Yeah.
Wow, how are you feeling after that stretch?
Like I could run a fucking marathon, frankly.
Monumental.
All right, and then we get another little segment. I'm looking at our time here. We're going okay, but
We are fine.
next we get a game about little baby Bart.
Do these people have a way of contacting us when it's time to do this thing?
Possibly. I mean, we'll jump on their Discord in a moment, but I imagine I'll get a message. I'm going to open the Twitter account to make sure they haven't already messaged me saying, "Oi,
Oh,
what's up, son?"
I've got push notifications on our pod's Twitter.
Oh, that sounds like a hassle.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that one tweet we made that went well, it didn't really go viral. It got like 150 likes.
That was a very irritating afternoon to be my phone.
The Scott Ackerman one. Maybe if we mention Scott Ackerman, I don't know, maybe he's got some sort of notification set up where he'll hear us mention him and he'll check out the podcast.
Maybe.
Scott Ackerman, hello. Anyway, what was I talking about? Little baby Bart. So little Barty boy, he hears an ice cream truck.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it's got the music playing in the background. It goes, baby butt, do 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 do, baby butt, do 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 do, and keeps going like that. Baby butt, do 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 do, baby butt.
I don't know what this is.
Okay. Daddy butt, people will get it. Have you not heard Baby Shark?
Right, okay, I only just figured out then that it was Baby Shark from context.
I keep finding myself in groups of people where nobody else is familiar with Baby Shark, and that's usually me, the person who's not familiar with the thing.
I guess the thing I will say is I'm familiar with people referring to Baby Shark because it's been all over normie internet for a while.
Yeah, it's
but
been.
I did not know that was the accompanying melody for it. I did, and especially because initially I thought you were saying Baby Butt, and I was like,
I'm saying Baby Bart.
I know that now. Initially I thought you were saying Baby Butt, and I was like, what's up with this?
Why is he singing a song about little baby butts?
Why is this the thing that's happening?
So little baby Bart, he's jumping around, he's swinging around in trees.
Doing whatever he wants to do, or whatever the melody was that you just sang.
Now the actual song that's playing, I only recognize it from what I assume is a parody version from The Simpsons where they're singing Hail to the Bus Driver, which I assume is a real song, but with different lyrics.
I don't know. I always
Hail
thought that was
to the bus driver.
Just hail to the bus driver.
Bus driver man.
Hail to the
You're looking it up.
bus driver. Oh no, not Hail to the Thief by Radiohead.
Although, that is a great album if you would like to stop and listen to it.
I won't.
Okay.
It's a popular children's song, particularly among preteens.
Oh, so it is actually a real song?
It seems to be.
Or it's not a song that's parodying something else?
Singing to the Bus Driver or Hail to the Bus Driver, an anonymous United States folk song dating to the mid-20th century, which I believe predates The Simpsons. It is a popular mid-children's song, blah, 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 blah. It is sung to the tune of more traditional British children's songs, The More We Get Together and Did You Ever See a Lassie? Which in
Did
turn...
you ever see a lassie? Did you ever see a lassie?
Did you ever see a lassie, a lassie? Did you ever see a lassie this way and that? do this way and that way and this way and that way. Did you ever see a lassie do this way and that? I don't think I got the rhythm quite right there. There's a MIDI file of Did you ever see a lassie?
Remember how we were meant to try to keep this short, Nick?
Who cares?
Me. So
That's just instrumental.
while this music plays, we get what is basically a video game adaptation of that one scene from Lisa's First Word, where Bart is spinning around the clothesline. That scene that gives me tremendous anxiety every time I see it. Earlier today, I saw a real video of somebody who's going paragliding. Oh, not paraglide. What's that one where you're like strapped into the thing? And
Hang gliding.
Hang gliding. There's a video of somebody who goes hang gliding, but they're not... Oh my god, stop that. What are you doing? Why are you sucking on your phone like a maniac? Thanks, Jamiroquai.
I was just doing a bit of mouth wire.
So I was watching this video of somebody hang gliding, but they're not strapped in properly. And the moment they take off, they start like...
Oh.
They have to grab onto the pole and the person who's meant to have strapped them in. And the whole thing's them just like desperately struggling to not fall off this fucking hang glider. And it goes for 3 minutes. Somehow that video
thank you.
gave me less anxiety than the image of baby Bart spinning on the clothesline.
Jesus.
So this is a weird little thing where Bart's spinning around, jumping around. Eventually it turns into a pram race, where it's him racing little baby Jimbo, little baby Kearney again. The bits with Jimbo and Kearney in this game look better than the other parts of the game.
Are they maybe the best people in the game?
Jimbo and
Are
Kearney.
Jimbo and Kearney the best people?
They are the MVBs, the most valuable bullies in the game.
Very good.
I would say.
As opposed to the most valuable pulley, which tends to be the one that takes the majority of the weight
In my experience.
in a pulley system.
Yeah, in a pulley system. So then Bart ends up in a circus. He's a little baby at the circus, and he's doing his spinning around. This bit of the game looks very tedious,
Yes.
as does the majority of the game, frankly.
Yes.
And then he fires himself out of a cannon
R.I.P.
into the ice cream van.
R.I.P. Frankly.
What?
I don't know. Cut that out.
I don't think I can. I think you did too much setup. So that ends, and then we get the final minigame, and this one looks very tedious.
Just for something different then.
In this one, Bart tries to ruin a school photo by first throwing tomatoes at all of the other students.
Tomatoes.
And then eggs.
And then eggs.
And it plays like, it looks kind of like Angry Birds, but firing into the screen and really rubbish.
Where does Bart get the fungible income to spend on tomatoes and eggs? Where's he getting, or is he pilfering them all?
Well, he's living in the Matrix, remember? He's got that Matrix money, bro.
So do you mean like the red pill is tomatoes?
The blue pill, eggs.
So you plant the red pill and it becomes a tomato plant. That's
Yeah.
that's weird.
And he chucks them at the students. If you hit a teacher, you have to start again, bro.
Why?
Because you done goofed.
Oh, because I done goofed.
Yeah, you gotta go again. So, like, he ruins 2 photos, and then the game ends. The game is over.
And ruins Christmas. He didn't ruin Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his family ruined Christmas by leaving him home alone with Tim the Toolman Taylor. And Bart's like, "Wah!"
What? Bart's become Wario?
Yeah. Wah!
Oh,
I'm home alone.
Can we do that? Can we get the Macaulay Culkin like Home Alone scream and overdub it with "Wah!"
Can we do that? Yeah.
And then find a celebratory shot of one of the sticky bandits, like when they're celebrating the fact that their sticky hand is covered in coins, and then they can just become, as the hand comes into shot, we go "Yahoo!"
Sure. We could do that, but in what, are we like filming this, or are we just doing it?
No, we're just overdubbing clips.
Okay, I get you.
I don't know why.
Now this game was called Virtual Bart, and it's about Bart in little virtual reality.
Yes,
I bought myself a PlayStation VR kit last week,
a PSVR.
purely to play this new Tetris game.
Oh, I've heard good things about the
Tetris Effect.
Effect.
Because I've been playing it without the VR. And this is the new game by Tetsuya Mizuguchi. And this is a guy who, every time he puts a game out, like, I kind of forget that he's, like, the best fucking person in games, and, like, everything he makes is astonishing.
On your tets.
So I asked for a review copy of this game because I saw it reviewing really well, and I thought, I should put this in the kids magazine that I write for.
Sure.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure it's really good. It's Tetris, so I don't know, like what the ceiling is here. I love Tetris, but still, 4 minutes into the game, I had to pause because there were tears in my eyes.
Oh, wow.
This game is astonishing.
Holy shit.
I'm like, okay, I get it now. I understand this game. This game is about how Tetris can unite us all as a people and potentially solve the world's problems. Okay, I understand.
Right.
And I went out, I bought the PlayStation VR, so now I can play Tetris in VR, and it's fucking incredible. Much better than Virtual Bart.
Interesting.
We're now at the point where earlier projections of what VR can do and what it could be, actual VR is better.
That's nice.
It's always a fun moment in technology where, like, the actual technology supersedes the science fiction understanding of what that technology might be.
Yeah.
Although I'm yet to find a game I get to hang out with Genghis Khan and eat who he eats.
Oh, yes, that is true. Yeah.
Which is, of course, the VR dream.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's what we're building up towards, I think.
Yes.
So this has been my review of Tetris Effect. I've been getting email from, like, the PR because they see me on Twitter how much I'm loving the game, and they're like, you should write something about it. And I'm pitching to all these outlets, but, like, nobody wants to publish anything about Tetris because nobody's going to read it. So I'll put it on the podcast.
Sure.
Because I fucking love Tetris Effect.
Sure.
I'm going to give it a 10 in the kids magazine. I very rarely give out 10 out of 10s, but this is my kind of game.
Excellent.
Virtual Bart, though, Virtual Bart can go eat my shit.
Oh.
Tetris Effect, good. Virtual Bart, yeah, not so good, in my opinion.
I think that sums it up here for another week of pods.
In the key,
Oh.
eating my shorts.
Control pods in the key of Springfield.
Woozle Wuzzle? Bleep Blop?
I mean, is there a line I can do?
I just assumed you would just make a Wario noise or go woohoo or something like that.
Wahoo!
Pretty good, okay.
In Springfield.
I wash my hair with the Don't Formula shampoo and use cream rinse for that Just Wash shine. I can't seem to find my toothbrush, so I'll pick one up when I go out today. Other than that, I'm in good shape.
Wow!